The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Behind the bag, it gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
So a lot of those terms, so Stern, I have to pay homage, even though he's become like an old, like Charlie Rose now or whatever. But he's like moved into the, or not even like a Dick Cavett. Like he's like crossed over. I don't even know what he does anymore. But I had to leave him for fear of like sullying like old Stern. But all that stuff came from Stern.
Well, it got
Dirty
disseminated.
Sanchez, right. And Mr. Skin. The boys, what was the boys with the Bijou, the theater? Man Lovers, Nambla, and all that stuff. Remember? Be proud, be brave. You don't know that one?
See, the Stern, I didn't end up getting to like listen to Stern for many, many years. Man, I will give you an idea of like what the rest of the country or where I was stationed. There was like 4 radio stations where I was in North Dakota. 2 of them were country. One was rock and the other was NPR.
Oh.
And so the rock station I would listen to on my way to work, and then where I'd have to listen to one of the country stations.
Yeah.
But the rock station one morning, I'm waiting for my car to heat up. And they're like, oh, the #1 movie in the country this week is Private Parts. I don't know why people are going to see that.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they said that on the fucking radio. It was like...
He's a radio guy, like you.
And
should.
he's a radio god, like
Yeah.
What the middle of nowhere, Minot, North Dakota. You're in Minot, North Dakota, on some shit rock station.
Yeah.
And he's fucking
crushing it, owning
in New
it.
York, the biggest market, the capital of the world.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fucking be like, I don't know why people. Yeah, no, I wonder
I
why.
don't know
I wonder
why.
why they haven't made a movie about your fucking life, you fucking moron.
I started listening in '84 in the afternoon. I was filling cannolis in a bakery.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, well, that's what I called it. It felt better when I put my head on the pillow at
It's
night.
when I could look at my mom's eyes and tell her what I did.
It made crying in the shower less awful.
Do you know what my father would have done if he knew what I was really doing?
So when I was filling cannolis, because he paid homage to Imus on the Morning.
Oh, yeah.
Imus on the Morning.
My dad was a huge Imus fan when Howard Stern moved to New York. It was like very rare that we were with our dad during the week.
Yeah.
But I remember being like probably 7. So this would have been like probably 82, 83.
Yeah, it was in the afternoon.
And he was in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and we happened to be going somewhere, and he's like, you guys are going to love this.
And you're like, what?
And so I'm like 7 listening to Howard Stern and being like, this is hilarious.
My grandparents listened, and my grandmother would yell because Robin would laugh at everything. And she was like, she's an idiot, he's gross. My grandfather was a dirty old man. But they went from like Bernard Meltzer in the morning.
Right.
And then some lady, Joan Hamburg. Did you know her? She was an old, like, WOR, like old. Well, my grandmother was blind, so she didn't watch TV. So it was more of
so
the
a lot of
radio.
radio.
Yeah, a lot of radio.
Were they Bob Grant people?
Yes. Bob Grant,
And
Joan
what was-
Hamburg,
was Lynn something. Lynn
Meltzer.
Samuels was the only liberal on CBS.
I think they were.
talked like this.
Oh, they listened to Dr. Ruth because it was the OR because she
Right.
went on with. My grandma was like, she's disgusting. I'm like, I just listened to your talking book where I just listened to you, Sonny rail a bridesmaid on your audio. Godfather.
And he took his thick, veiny member out of his dress pants.
Sonny hoisted her against the wall, and I'm like, whoa, nanny!
And
Like,
pounded her salami like it had never been pounded before.
are we messing you up? Are you supposed to start?
Oh, we started.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
I feel violated.
I know. We've been used.
That's all I've been commenting on the thread. Is I just love watching these two go because we set you two off and that's
We
it.
started. That's good.
It's been about
Started.
probably 3 minutes.
3 months.
That's what the guy
He almost
said
said 3. It felt like
It's
3
been
months.
like 3 minutes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
3 minutes.
Let me go ahead and
Sorry.
share this.
But it's true. You two just go off and it's
Andy, I did.
freaking
No, that's what I said.
hilarious.
This-
I like smart comics. Not that there are not smart comics out there.
Like, I get the best sister vibes from.
Yes.
Like, this is like the sister I've always wanted.
And we were touching on that a little bit before you got here this
Well,
morning.
we were
about-
touching each other.
Yes.
Was.
Well, that goes without saying, but
And
about Andy being a smart comic, we were kind of
touching
touching on that a
hand.
little
Comic.
bit. Yeah.
Let's,
No, I got called
I
out.
said smart guy who does comedy. Well,
Well, no, I had a moment at a mic where somebody was like trying to think of what the past participle or the past version of smite is,
oh.
and I said it's smote because she was taking too long, and right, like we're all fucking on the spectrum.
Yeah, let's go.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Like, I have no patience for.
Yeah, get to it. Land the plane.
Like I was the kid who was like looking out the window and like somebody was like struggling, like Romeo, where art thou for
Yeah.
Romeo? Like
Yeah.
let's get to the next part.
And then I went back to watching the burnouts, like
Yeah,
deal weed with their Def Leppard jackets.
I could not stand like people would stumble on anti-disestablishmentarianism. Right, go next word. But she goes, well, the smartest guy in the room just said it smoked, so I'm gonna. And I'm like, yeah, but here, I'm in the same place you are.
Yeah.
I'm getting the same amount of time at this open mic on a Monday.
Yeah. So
like,
why condescend me?
Because please don't say shit like that.
You gash.
That would have actually been appropriate for that person. I'll tell you after, because we've already talked about this person.
Oh, good. Well,
outside a diner in Long Beach.
Oh, we'll compare notes. I was just with Tom. Collery?
Tom Collery, yeah.
I was just with his uncle. He went to Funny Girl with us. His Uncle David.
Oh, no kidding. I've only met Tom like twice now.
He's very good. He's very cute.
He's very nice. It was
very
super
funny.
cool to, like, he was super cool. Like, he vibed off of him. You know, you could just tell.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. You know, he's 1 of 9. And he was homeschooled.
Wait, is he number 1 of 9? Or?
He's the oldest. Yeah, number 1.
Holy shit.
Number 9.
And he's visiting nurse. I think his sister's in there. As I'm talking about Tom, like I barely know him. But I just got it. Uncle David says hello. Call him.
There's something about the will.
Yeah. Something from the Uncle David. Don't touch his top drawer.
Or stop, at least.
Yeah.
He's okay with all the other times.
I gotta fix
trying
it.
to share this bad boy.
Do we have an agenda? Tony
Usually
Walker?
we do
Never.
free association Fridays is how I like to describe it.
Well, you mentioned going to see a show.
I did, I saw
I'll
Friday.
talk about a show that I saw.
What'd you see?
Oh. Yeah.
I saw a great show in Rockville Center about a week ago.
Oh, can we talk about it? Because I would love to.
That's why I brought it up.
Oh, it was wonderful.
It was fantastic, Laura Patton.
It was good.
There wasn't enough Laura Patton time. That's my only complaint about that night.
I appreciate that. So to take the air away from the us newer comics producing shows, which is sort of a sensitive topic sometimes or whatever. I was
The devil, you
told-
say.
The devil. So I was told in the beginning, you get on mic, so it's bringers, and then people start inviting you on shows, and then the friends of yours that want to come support you can't support. I can't bring people to like bad shows,
Right.
So the next natural progression is to produce a show,
Right.
And my goal was to produce a show where I'm the worst one on the show, and because I have a foot in Long Island and New York City,
Yeah.
So try and pull people from the city who I think are exceptional. And some like fan favorites that I love, like Chris is just amazing, but and bring them out to Long Island. So it's a lot of work. Anyone that produces a show with some consistency, I give you a lot of credit because it's a lot of work.
I know. I don't know.
I probably lose $1,000 every show because I buy equipment to amass this like. It's a solid system that I built a stage, like
Right.
And the bar is friends of mine, and I have friends that will come, but sadly, again to the universe. They'll drive this far. Like, so it was, and the history of how I even got into this was coming out of COVID, Dan Barry, the wrestler and comedian.
Great guy.
He produced a show on Long Island at a bar called RJ Daniels. And he brought James Maturin and oh my God, not Brian Scott McFadden, the other Brian
McKenna?
McKenna.
Both of those guys are great.
Amazing talent that he brought out to the show. So my husband, who's like a bar guy, plays softball and cornhole, he was like, hey, you should have my wife on the show. Not in that order. He's like, you should have my wife on the show. She'll bring a lot of friends. So he was like, all right, whatever, new because it's like me and Maturin. I mean, I was like a minute in comedy.
Right.
So I got on the show, and they were like, well, I guess we're all here for Laura. Like, it was all sold out. So then I was like, Dan, could you put me on the next show? I promise. Not only did I sell it out, we sold out something because Teddy came, got a couple other people, and then Dan took time on the show. So I sold out back to back, like from Monday and Tuesday, which was great. And then we did something from like a fun. So it sort of like weirdly became my show, but Dan got all, and then Dan's like, here's $50 or whatever. One of those, whatever. No offense, Dan, whatever. So, sorry. I mean, Schman. So then the next show, then they would do it again. And I was cock blocked. I was not on it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Which Dan's allowed to run his own show. Agreed.
Right.
But we
all have this. This gets talked about all the time.
Yes.
About like, wait, Why the fuck am I not on that show?
So the fire in my belly, and then I asked my husband, how many people are going? I became consumed with it.
Yeah.
So then only 30 people went for the next one. And also in Dan's events, Dan was busy like being a wrestler in Ireland, and Dan had other things. And COVID, the things started, other clubs started opening. It wasn't such a big deal to have a bar, all this stuff. So I didn't get on show 3, 4, 5 or whatever it was. And I was like, the spite just blistered in my soul.
This is what we're always talking about.
So the spite in my soul forced me to run a spite show down the street, because I think that's how all good projects
fuel
from spite.
Yeah, anything coming from spite is going to be a massive
amazing.
Success.
So I did the show, and I was so consumed with, and I brought all city comics. So I had Brian Scott McFadden, who's amazing.
Yes, he is.
My dear friend Ray Ellen, who I know before comedy, who does Aruba Ray. He hosted. He's a great host. Tom Escherman, Christy Mel. It was a amazing show, and the tickets sold out in a minute. So we had a 7:00 and then a 9:30.
Oh wow!
I was like, I made it, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll do it again, and I didn't get
the law of diminishing returns.
I didn't. Yeah. I had a great show. Again, I had Marla and Troy Bond came out, and Marcy Smiles, and my husband said it was. He goes, the people said it was too many women because he had his drink on. I go, really? What people? He goes, all right, me. So I'm like,
oh.
So he outed himself. It was you. And then that was the February show. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it again. And then I was like, all right, I'll do one more. And then I crawled to fill. I mean, I really try and get 90 people and make it nice. And now I went to B&H and bought blah, blah, blah. So that's the whole story. So I'm retiring.
All right, Jeff Posey.
Universe. I'm retiring from producing for some time because
I have never wanted to produce ever in my life.
It's a lot, but I feel like that's the only way for me. One, I get to do good new material. I have a really warm audience. My friends that are supportive of me support me. I get on a show with people I want to get on. I thought in turn for bringing these people from Long Island, they'd be like, hey, I got a bad spot on a Wednesday that I can give to you.
Right.
And that did not happen.
Which I think if you talk to anybody who's been around for a while, they're always like, yeah, you do their you get them on your shows, and then you go on their shows. And I feel like that doesn't actually really happen very often.
And I pay way too much, and I'm like, let me pay your food, let me pay your cab, let me pay your thing. But this show, last Wednesday's show was, so Roach really isn't a city comic, but I have a huge
he comes to our mic on
I have
Mondays.
A lady crush on Roach, and I had gone to see his Port Jeff
at Theater 3,
Jiggle the Chain, and him and Chris Monty and all that stuff. And he's so good, and he really, I mean, he's been struggling trying to keep busy, whatever. So he doesn't. I'm like, you're cheapening your brand. You say yes to everything. I'm like, will you do my show?
Start not doing that right after this question.
After this question, but go up market, Chris Roach. So Chris agreed, and Kerry, who is such a good person to me, and Tom's wife, and Kerry, she's my, and I'm like, will you do it? She's like, what's a favor to you? I send her people and all this stuff. So it was like a double headliner.
Right.
And then I brought Onika.
Yeah.
And Matt Pavich, who is a comic that you guys all should
I thought he was fantastic.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, I never heard of him, but I thought he was great.
City guy that he talked to James and Ange, and they were like, you should come out one day. I have to next time, I haven't really been around here, but to tell them that I'll bring him out on a Sunday or something. He's an Astoria guy. Phenomenal. And he's very honest that he was hospitalized 6 times. He has bipolar 1, and he does jokes about it. Nice. He's like a 34-year-old guy. And Onika, who was just out at the Comedy Store, you could see her up and down the stand, and she really trying to get her brand. Really, really great. It was a good show. Right. And I did newer stuff for me, because then my friends are like, are you going to do that joke about your anger period? So I get it. People are like, you just do you. And
see, that ends up being the thing that sucks, is when you've like your friends come out and they're being really supportive, and then they just stop because they're like, I've heard.
I know. Some people the good ones are like, I like to see the progression or how you, but I understand if I'm going to get people. And if ever there was a room that's supportive, Like I did a joke about who checks your taint pimple, which I think is a really important person in your relationship. Like if you had a taint pimple, would your wife check it for you?
I guess I was trying to think of like which specialist.
No, not a
Do you
doctor.
go to the ball specialist or the ass specialist?
Which
like,
really, I think you would start with a dermatologist.
it's like in between the two. What the fuck? I'm having another one of these mornings where everybody's trying to get a hold
But
of
who would check? Would your wife, like if you're like, oh my God, I think I have something on my ass, will you look at it? Would your wife look?
I would take a Google image and do a Google image search.
But what if you couldn't see the one on your ass?
I'm trying to figure out where I can't use my phone to take a picture.
Well, that is where the joke went. That ultimately, the joke went that my husband was like, I'm not doing it. Take a picture. And then I couldn't get a picture because I kept missing the region. So then I sort of made it like
you get distracted.
It wasn't quite lining it up. So I
had a glass of wine. The music was just right. It was a sweet summer.
So I opened up the video to just get the region, and then of course I take the joke extra that it wound up on my TV screen. People thought I was at Hal Caverns. Whatever. It's a whole.
I like that.
That was the joke. But I got
Very
to
New
like
York.
use it. I know people are like, what's Hal Caverns? My staglamites
Is that in Kentucky? Is that the one in Kentucky?
The staglamites in my pants. But no, it was, and so Carrie, again, as I'm hogging the thing before my call in 9 minutes, Carrie is also doing acting for this Gemelli Productions, all along this woman, Candy Kane, like cranks out, and it's a real name, right?
No, I know, but it sounds like a total porn name.
It is, could be a porn name, but it's not. She produced and these Long Island productions, and they're like, they'll go to Lifetime or small, and then one is, Carrie, it's I keep calling it Santa's side piece, but it's
Santa's second wife.
Santa's second wife, and the other one is
Prank Squad.
Prank Squad.
Or Prank War or Prank Squad. I forget
There's
which
a
is
show
which.
coming out now that I think it's like Prank War or Prank Squad.
Prank
so it's
War?
the other
Yeah,
one.
no, I know
I
which
think it's
one.
Prank Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, Carrie's like a great so Carrie's whole team came out, and full circle, I invited Tony Walker because I know he loves me and Carrie. I said,
And Marla.
Yes.
Marla was there too.
Oh yes, Marla came because she was doing something with Sarge. We have to talk about Sarge. Do you know Sarge?
No.
Oh my God, we'll talk about Sarge when I come back. But anyway, I invited Tony, and then everyone was coming from Carrie's production. So I told Tony. So Tony came with his son. And who was the woman?
That's his mother.
Oh. So that was very nice. Mm-hmm. So it was the whole family affair.
It was a family affair, yeah.
And you got to, you sat, so Tony moved up
Well,
to
right. So
front
that was
row,
that's the thing. That's the production company that Zach works for.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
So he actually he
And
knows
I'm like,
Carrie.
I feel like I've heard the name Candy Cane and said it sounds like a porn
Right.
name
So he
before.
knows Carrie. So, which I didn't even know. Candace Kane. I prefer to say Candace because I don't want to make Candy Cane. Yeah. She invited the whole crew to join her for that
see
night.
Carrie, yeah.
But I didn't even know that. So. So they thought we were joining them. I'm like, what? No, we got our own seats back there. We're like, So, we ended up just sitting with them anyway.
It was great.
Yeah,
and
we had
they
a good time.
were so excited. They brought Carrie flowers, and there's a couple and there were people I met. My husband and I went to see Tom and Carrie, which I thought was Tom and Jerry, like spoof. It was very funny. They did a Valentine's Day show with Ashley Morris, who I love too, if you know Ashley. So my husband and I had gone to West Side. And Tom and Carrie did a Valentine's, married.
They're so funny.
They're so good
Carrie
together.
Louise and Tom Cotter, we're talking about.
Yes, Carrie Louise.
Oh, I'm looking at that guy. They're great comedians. Tom Cotter from, what was America's Got Talent he did?
He is America's Got Talent, and he performs that. And he's he's mostly clean, and he's so quick, and he is rapid fire.
And so is she.
So good.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
She was really good. Her whole bit about taking down a jumpsuit and peeing in a ladies' room, and it was a really, people and young kids, some of my son was there. I was a little nervous talking about stuff in front of my son, but I'm trying to. Teddy's like, if you don't get over it, you got to get over it. So, I talked about having sex with his dad in front of my son. So that was hard for me, but I did it. I'm trying to.
I bet you it was pretty exciting.
Have you seen my husband? But anyway,
Yes, wonderful human being.
Hey, the more I see that guy, the more I like him.
He is nice.
He paid for my marginally okay buffalo chicken wrap.
He is he's a very supportive chuckle fucker. I cannot, and that show especially, he rigs lights and it's a lot of work. And when the show's all over, people are like, great show, bye. And then we're there rigging stuff. And I've rented professionals, Lico lights and had to put them in the big.
Oh, God.
Because I'm I don't want, you hope people to get a tape. And I don't want anyone to be like, this is You would think it's not a bar show. It's definitely.
Oh no, definitely not a bar show. It was
and
a
I don't
separate
like
room
when
with the
people are on
stage.
the same. I don't like when I'm a comic with a mic and you're sitting right here. Like when we're eye level.
Oh,
I
God,
feel like
yeah. No.
You're creeping me out. I don't want to make eye contact with you. So, a friend of mine, a New York City carpenter, thank you, local, whatever.
It was
he
union,
built the stage
bottom
for
line.
me. And so he built the stage with some. I didn't have to pay for materials.
Right.
And
Fell off a truck.
so he built it. It's 4 parts that hook and eye together, and the legs come off. And really, he was using it from a large retailer for like podiums, risers for like mannequins. But when he started using it, he felt like the legs wouldn't support, people. Like a head was. They were meant for
a
like
second
mannequins.
there, I'm like, it doesn't work for mannequins anymore.
Yeah, it
I was
doesn't
thinking
work
the
for
same thing.
mannequins.
Like, what are they? They're
But not
breaking
like-
out all them fat mannequins nowadays. I've
And
seen
Old
them.
Navy and
Victoria's
Athleta.
Secret.
Yes, the chunky mannequin. I love it.
When I'm walking past Victoria's Secret, I try very hard not to stare in and
Yeah.
slut shame all the whores that are in
I
there
know,
buying their
but
underwear.
You can't.
And
Do you walk with your daughters? And
Yes,
be like,
yeah.
you're like, that's where the bad girls that don't like their daddies shop.
No, I'm like, someday you're probably gonna be, and the older one's like, no, I've heard the popular girls talk about that,
Yeah.
and she's like so anti everything.
Yeah.
So, but I've explained to them how like I'm like, it's not cool for me to be like
Near it, yeah. I'll wait out. I can't Google
like
outside.
to look as we pass by, and sometimes they'll joke and be like, you want to look in there?
Yeah, I'm like, Dad, we'll be at the Cinnabon.
Well, right across is Newberry Comics.
Oh, okay.
We'll be
yeah,
looking at manga. You can go ahead and be a creeper, Dad.
Yeah, go be a creeper. So that was the show. So we had
Yeah.
the stage, and I figured out spotlights and mics, and now I need this. I got a mixing board, and
Nice.
I blew my load at B&H, and all the Orthodox guys are like, what do you need this for? I'm like, I'm a funny woman. And they're like,
Yeah, well, that's not the wig you're wearing.
look at you with your natural
Your
hair.
husband's
You're
didn't let you out
funny.
like this?
You make the jokes with the mouth.
That's like, don't go to Legoland.
And when Muncie, I'm a purist. I went to the first one in San Diego.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Don't go to the one in Goshen.
No, the buses come. Don't go on a Sunday. You were stupid. You should have went on a Saturday.
I can't remember when we went.
You went on a day when they were allowed out.
It was like,
No offense.
no.
When the predominantly Orthodox community does not use electronics on Saturday, they
haven't-
could not go to Lego.
I haven't seen so many wigs since William Henry Harrison's inauguration. It's my Dennis Miller joke for the night, for the day.
I haven't seen that many weeks since I was at the Declaration of Independence.
It was a little later, the wig.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's William Henry Harrison was the last Whig president.
Oh, was he?
So that's why I
you can roll
use that as the. I haven't seen this many wigs since William Henry Harrison's inauguration, babe.
So that was the
Very cool.
whole. So
Tony
the story
had told
was,
me how great it was.
It was.
The show was great.
Everyone brought it.
Right.
It was Onika started it.
I feel I saw her once a long time ago at like a mic.
Yeah, Onika McLean. She's falling a little into like the hosting role at the
right.
stand, which because I go Gio. You guys know Gio Perez, right?
Gio, I go back with Gio.
Oh my
yeah.
God, he's so good, and I go on his Tuesdays.
I love his vibe so much.
He's so great.
Funniest moment ever was turning a corner at Walmart, and he was working there at the time. The one
Really?
around the corner from my house. I'm like, Gio, and he's like, oh shit, what's up, dog?
I know. We did the laugh off, and I listen. I thought I was good, and so did not be a jerk. So did everyone else because I came in third, right? But I thought I would come in top 3. I was a little full of myself, but I thought I would come in top 3 with Ivory Fields and Gio Perez. I literally thought those two were.
Yeah,
and it didn't shake out that way. And Gio was like, whatever. My mom went up to him after. She's like, those jokes about prison, they're really good. And he's like, oh, these are all my friends from jail. My mother's like, you guys were wonderful.
Dude, I love him.
Yeah, so
Really,
Onika
really good.
she'll host Gio's show. Well, not actually, she doesn't host Gio's show. She'll host the show before because it's Gio and the 2 guys and the guy that books the stand. He used to be a prison cook. That whole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole story.
Oh, they take care of their own.
Yeah, looking out. Like when you go out, look me up, and he's like, he really did.
When were you in? It's not long ago, but couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the musk is still on me?
It's good. It's good. So that was the crowd. But Matt, I saw. I went to see Marla had a spot. No, I actually went to see Kerry had a spot at the comic strip, and that's where I saw Matt.
Right.
And just Chris just comes out. Chris's walk when he comes up with the bat.
Dude,
What's the?
Well, you know what we've been seeing a lot
I
from
gotta use more of my
he's
face.
been like grabbing old notebooks from like 1 week it was 2014, then the next week he brought the 2015, and he's just like he's trying to like reinvigorate, and it's just like so funny to like hear, you know, these old. I mean, they are pretty old at this point, more than 5 years, and he like maybe we're like. And he's like, all right, obviously, I'm sorry, guys. And the whole time he's like, I'm sorry.
Just everything.
This is
And I
terrible.
haven't quite figured out the backdrop. Do I invest in, because I call myself patent
Oh, right.
pending, which I think is very clever, but because I am pending to be famous, but whatever. But and then the brick wall. So I haven't gotten it. So I borrowed my friend Phyllis's. She has a whole thing set up, but she has like her Nona's Christmas curtains. They're legit, these red velvet curtains. So that's like the backdrop. So whenever Brian McFadden was like, if you would have told me, I would have been here. He goes, I've got the late show in East Meadow, you know, like making jokes. So Chris came out and he's touching the curtains. Like, look at me. He goes, I have to thank my manager for. So the curtains become part of a.
Right.
And Chrissy was like, oh, whose grandmother's curtains? And Phyllis was like, they're my grandmother's. Like, put 'em out. So that's the last thing I need to. And I think a second speaker and a second spot.
Getting into the nitty gritty now with
It's too
this.
much, though.
I wouldn't want to have to think about any.
And then where do I store it?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And I need riggers to bring it.
Whoa,
Riggers.
Brigas.
With the hard R.
Brigas. Or is it Igas? I don't even know anymore.
No, a rigger.
I'm just confused.
R-I-G-G. Someone who rigs up.
Yeah, a rigger. Rigger, please.
Oh my God, I'm 2 minutes late for my call.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back. I have
Yeah.
to go talk about excise tax. All right.
I actually have like an old joke when they were killing all the chickens.
About excise tax?
It's an egg size tax. Anyway, I had to find that because
You know, I was just talking to somebody just yesterday about Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if did you ever watch it?
no.
There was this one guy, Crazy Eyes Killer, or Killer was the character's
Right,
name, and he would, he'd be saying to people, are you my?
Right.
But then there's a scene where he's talking to Larry David, and Larry David's like, "Are you my Caucasian? Are you my Caucasian?" Oh man, we were just so funny.
So hey Jay, what's up?
I'm trying to get Jay in here right now. Thank God she just left, he says. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We're having a lot of fun with, look at it, the call didn't even happen. Look at this. What did she say? Did she say tell Jay to go fuck himself? Is that what she said?
Yeah, I think she
I
said
think
tell
that's what
Jay
she
to go
said.
fuck off. I think
that's
the
really what she
closest
said.
thing to like what fits into that. Like all I heard was the syllable. I didn't actually hear the words. So fuck off, Jay.
Jay, she was coming back. She opened the door and she tell Jay to go fuck himself. I think that.
Yeah, no. She just like cracked the door like a little bit.
It's pretty much. Jay, you're gonna have to come in here and take care of this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right, Tony. What do you have to say?
Well, nothing as good as that. I'll tell you
No,
that.
I love it. Really is. Like she definitely talks like most of the people in the part of the family I grew up with. So it's almost like brain candy for me to like hang out with Laura because
that's what that's one of the things I just love about her, because she'll immediately make you feel like you've known her forever, and she's known you forever, and you get comfortable. And she's great on stage. So, and that's why I do. That's why I love when she comes in. Right. But I don't have anything nearly as good. I do want to show you a picture.
Oh.
I don't know if any
done this before.
Well, then you would have made a mess on me.
Mm-hmm.
So you got what's her name on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
Martha Stewart, who is a foxy broad,
and she's in her 80s, right?
Super into yes.
Yeah.
Martha, I mean, she was a fucking model back in the day. Like,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how I said, like, anybody who's complaining about this is a moron.
Oh, yeah, I got no problem with it.
Because she's super hot. She's hotter than anybody who's complaining about her. She's 10 times hotter right now than anybody those people have ever fucked.
All right.
Like, easily. So
Probably, yeah, probably. But, so speaking of older women, I guess.
Okay.
If anybody saw this yesterday, Sharon Stone posted a picture of herself.
Oh.
Sharon Stone is 65 years old.
Dude, she's another one. She's super hot.
Well, yeah, at 65.
She's always been super hot.
Check
she
out,
probably
yeah.
Always will be.
Look at this picture she posted of herself.
I can't wait for this to come off. Because I don't like this angle.
And I'm not talking about the close up of her face. It's the other picture that she just posted of herself. I believe
face,
yesterday.
Beautiful. I mean,
yeah,
just drop dead gorgeous.
But even that body, that's.
We've been doing this thing, and I told the girls this is how the summer's going to go. On Sunday nights, they have to watch a movie that I've decided to watch
On Sunday nights.
So. So far, the first installment was The Matrix.
Okay.
Second installment was The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Okay.
Because I kind of want to give my influence, like what my pop culture tastes and whatnot. We have talked about Miss Congeniality coming up. What was the one that Becca just said? And the girls were like, "Oh, we really want to see that." Whatever, doesn't matter. Becca came up with it, so it's not important. But Carrie Ann Moss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I remember seeing that in the theater and just not knowing who she was and just immediately being like, how did they find exactly what I'm looking for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And then she was in, was it Daredevil?
Yes.
Where she was kissing
not just
women.
In Daredevil. She was also in Jessica Jones. And
oh, right.
Like but she's.
But she was kissing women. That's my point.
Oh, that whatever. I don't. I want her to be kissing me.
Well, all right.
So
yeah, I'll give you that.
It doesn't usually that sort of thing doesn't really faze me. Two chicks at the same time.
Who was Gen Z B? Is that?
That's Snortland.
It is Snortland. I wasn't
That's
positive.
my guess.
I wasn't positive because she said she'd even hit the Sharon Stone. Yeah, Jen, if you missed it, I was on here yesterday apologizing.
And he did not apologize at all. He doubled down
several times.
He's like, "Fuck them! I'm never going."
Several
on that show.
times.
I'll book again and cancel again. And I'm quoting him. You can go back and watch the whole show.
They won't
see
have
how
me
many
back.
times you count how many times he said it.
They're not going to have me. I guarantee.
I'm just trying to get you
Benny's
views,
pissed.
man.
I hear you.
Fuck.
All right. Well, that's why I bring Laura in on Fridays.
Right.
That'll get views. And speaking of next Friday, Kelpie's coming in.
I don't think I'm going to be able to be here on.
Oh, that's right.
I
You did
might
tell
be
me
able
that.
to. Let me, because the guys are coming to clean the water tower at work. All right, I'm getting a blowjob. No, I have a water tower. They need to clean it once a year, so they're coming. And the last time it was like 8:00 in the morning because I canceled last year. Also, I think it was the first weekend in June, and they were done by like 10. Because it's such a small tower.
Right,
That's the other thing.
right.
We shouldn't have even registered the fucking tower because it's so tiny and compared to like most water towers, cooling towers.
All right. So Tony's trying to be there, Jessica K. Yeah, pretty much. So Jay, if you're still out there, you're joining us too next Friday.
How much you paying him?
Shit, now I got to do something. Jay, I'll buy you lunch. How about that? I'll buy you lunch next door. I know you're a big fan of the deli next door.
Which I'm never, ever. I will park and walk in.
Oh, yeah, it's quicker.
Absolutely. I will never go on that line. And it's not that there were a ton of cars. There were 3 cars ahead of me. And 20 minutes later, I got my sandwich. Because 46.
What?
46 was when and it was 10:05. It had been 10:05 for a little when I got my sandwich. It was 20 minutes, 46, 9:46 is when I got here.
Oh, okay. That's I was like 4 to 6. I was like, what?
46.
Right.
Why does Irish stew only have 239 beans in it?
Why?
Because one more would make it too farty. Too farty. My daughter, I have that I film us doing that joke every St. Patrick's Day, and my daughter. Well, Charlotte doesn't want to do it anymore, so it's just Daphne now. But Daphne last year, her third grade teacher, she told that joke, and we love her third grade teacher. Starts laughing, calls her own mother. What's that?
I don't know. It's from Minneapolis.
Oh, I thought it was like.
Got a lot of.
Maybe it's her that I'm hearing, Laura.
Oh yeah, that's Laura's
Okay,
call
wow,
out in the hallway.
that's crazy.
Yeah. She's got it on speaker, I'm assuming.
We're all getting old. Speakerphone equals old.
Yeah, true.
Fuck, I don't even know what it was saying.
Third grade teacher.
Oh, third grade teacher. Called her own mother on the spot and had Daphne tell her the joke over
funny.
the phone. It was so great. But it's kind of becoming Daphne's thing.
Speaking of spam calls, I got a lot of compliments on how you handled that call. Was that last week?
Oh, yeah. A lot of compliments.
Yeah.
I'm always interested. You're like, yeah, a lot of people said this. I'm like, who the fuck is...
All right, I'll tell you what. Don Sill.
All right,
he was
I
one.
love Don. And
yep.
That's what I want to hear when I say that.
I'll just say that every
Like,
time.
Who said that?
No, but it was Don.
Don?
Don was one of them, yes.
Nice.
And Don's like, you got to clip that and post it separately. And I am going to do that.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Yep. And we're getting closer to Don's big day. We're 2.5 weeks.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. June 13th, he's getting married.
Very cool.
Yep.
13th. I'm trying to think of the significance of that. Every date has some kind of...
Well, for them, it's the anniversary of their first... I think it was their first date. I think.
Oh,
it
thank
is.
God. I hope it was like the first time they banged.
Yes. Let's celebrate with the family.
I wish I hope someday I'm that famous and on that many drugs that when somebody's like, so what's the significance of the day? That's the first time we banged. As I lick the side of her face, then she licks the side of my face back. I hate that I'm kind of implying that it's not Becca. So if you guys can imagine it's Becca that's happening with.
Please. Yeah. I hear Tony says that deli delicious mini bagels and cream cheese. Yes, that was...
I'm going to tell you off air that Billy had something very funny that he came up with that had to do with bagels.
Oh.
Not from watching you guys.
I'll tell you what I did watch. There's a clip of Drew Barrymore that's going viral. Have you seen this?
I've had a crush on Drew.
Oh, yeah, she's beautiful.
E.T.
Oh, yeah. But since E.T.
I'm the same fucking age as her.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you're right.
I'm allowed to.
Yeah, you're right.
It wasn't sexual. It was like, that girl's really cute.
Yeah. Have you seen this clip that I'm talking about?
No.
So apparently she was doing her show, and she's in the middle of it. She has her guest. They're talking, and all of a sudden, in the crowd, in the audience, a woman starts crying. So Drew stops. She goes, "All right, hang on," and she stands up. She goes, "Is everything all right over there? Did
She's
something
a genuinely
happen?"
good person.
Yeah, and that's what we've heard, and that's where I'm going with this. The person we heard it from. So she starts walking over, and as she's walking, she goes, "Do I have to kick somebody's ass?" Like she's kind of joking, but you can tell she's like really concerned.
Right.
She walks over, and this woman.
Wow.
I hope
we just. I'm watching in.
All right, so it's still going.
Like a couple of second delay. We just. That's
okay.
me just looking at you going.
Sorry, all the monitors in here just blacked out.
Skipped.
So
yeah,
but
we're
still on. Okay, so so she walks over, and there's this woman. She's in I think the first or second row. She's got an end seat, so she's right there. And she goes, "I'm really sorry." She goes, "I just really love you." She goes, "I've been a fan for such a long time." She goes, "And I just can't stop crying." I mean, he was completely out of nowhere. But as she's saying this, she gets handed a microphone so everybody can hear her, and it's Joey that's handing her the microphone.
Oh, cool.
So that's the only reason I'm bringing this up.
Right.
Not because I care about Drew Barrymore. It's because this
you get
video.
to see Joey.
Yeah, this video that's gone viral. You see Joey for a split second handing a girl a microphone and walking away. So
Nice.
that's the only reason I brought it up. So yeah, so Drew ends up hugging the woman. They sit and talk for a minute, and then she goes on about her show, and then Joey had her thrown out. No, I'm kidding.
What they don't show is Joey stabbing her in the neck.
Shut up!
With like a prison shiv. That's all Drew allows. She doesn't allow any weapons, so they all have to make their own out of craft table.
Joey made his out of Nutella.
Right. It's delicious.
Wow, wow, wow.
I'm not going to stab anybody with something that's not delicious. You eat the evidence afterwards. I could see him doing that.
Totally. You can see Joey here at Governor's tomorrow night.
And John Butera, I believe,
John Butera is hosting, and
because
Michelle Fox is in it. Yeah.
Well, I John only wanted to talk about himself, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
But yeah. And there's going to be some sort of comedian softball game coming up. Apparently it's competitive, though, which is, and it's between Aragona's comedy and Laughter Saves Lives.
Really?
Yeah, it was hilarious because Alex Bradley's like, I'm the youngest comic on both of those, and nobody asked me to play.
Are you going?
I might. I almost killed Joe Capella at the first softball game.
Oh, yeah,
a few years ago. I guess that was 2019 because it was before the lockdown. Yeah, I had just done. I caught the ground ball and I went for a sweep tag because I knew he was behind me, so I wasn't actually looking. It was this way because I'm right-handed, and I'm like, and I got in between his legs, and his hair saved him.
His hair.
Joe Capella, have you ever seen Joe Capella's hair? Yeah.
Wow.
His hair saved him. But he was like woozy afterwards. I'm like, I am so sorry. I almost killed you.
Well, I'll look through. I'm coming tomorrow to see Joey. I'm not doing Green Room tomorrow. Don's away, and I'm just taking a night to just enjoy the show. But I will go at Butera and thank him for the invite to the softball game.
Well, it's you're not part of Aragona's comedy.
I've done Aragona shows.
Aragona.
I've done an Aragona show. And he's gotten me murder mysteries, so I think I fall into the category.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think he wants to win.
I could be a third base coach.
Well, it's funny because they were telling us how the Laughter Saves Lives community, like their team.
Yeah, who's on that team?
Ancient.
John and Les? I mean,
I don't know, but they're ancient.
And Rich Walker.
Rich Walker would also be on there, but they're ancient. But then John put together his lineup, and he's like, nobody's under 300 pounds here.
Who is Jay in it?
I have no clue. I haven't asked. We didn't ask the specifics. He did. He was at the mic and he was like, if you guys want to play, like, let me know. And he was like looking at me because I think nobody ever wants to play second base.
Yeah,
that's sort of my specialty.
Talking about comedy softball.
Yes.
Are you going?
With John?
I guess.
A different one?
Well, it's LaRocchia versus Butera. It's Laughter Saves Lives.
John asked me to play.
Which John?
Oh, LaRocchia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, LaRocchia. We're now pickleball buddies.
We were just saying how Butera was telling me how LaRocchia's lineup is ancient, and his doesn't have anybody less than 300 pounds.
Oh, John's.
Yeah, Butera's. Yeah, so it's like the old against the fat.
So it's. I'm guessing he got less.
I didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't get to hear who everybody was.
Because that's who I pickleball with. John is unbelievably nice. Him and I met through he threw out there, does any comics play pickleball? And I was like, I do. And
he did. Yeah, he asked me too. I'm like, John.
Kneeling is not your strong suit.
I don't know if you remember who you're talking to. But stopping and starting again.
Yeah. Tripod
quickly.
here is not, and pickleball is not his thing.
You know what? Actually, something that popped in my head, I'm like, this is like a real question. And I'm like, should I even? Because, Becca's always like, don't make fun of him for his leg.
Why not?
Right. Well,
exactly.
I said, what else is there? The man has nothing, literally nothing else to him.
Fish in a
except
barrel.
for the lack of a leg. But how much does a leg weigh? Do you know, like what your weight, quote unquote, should be, or anything like that?
I was told, which I found it hard to believe, but I was told my leg weighed 9 pounds, and I'm like, that can't be. That sounds very light. Yeah, no, absolutely.
No,
I think it's then somebody else. I forget what. I'm telling you, my doctor said 9. I was like, that can't be. Somebody else told me 16.
20, that's 40 pounds at most.
And the rest
Head
is all
and
your
legs.
trunk. Trunk's 100 pounds? Could be.
100 pounds. That's very funny.
I'm being generous.
So the arms and trunk are almost 200 pounds. For me, that means.
No, you got to have a thicker leg. It's got to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Somebody else told me,
Sound
but
right
then
to
somebody
me.
else told me it's only 16 pounds. So
That's
both
much
actually,
more believable because that's 32.
but it still sounds low
that's
to me.
50 pounds
And what's
between
the
head.
Jerry Maguire, the human?
The human head weighs 20 pounds.
Yeah, they're
That's what I'm saying. I'm going off of
Jerry Maguire. and-
Ledecky or whatever the hell his
strapping
name was.
Jonathan.
Lipinski, whatever his fucking name was.
So
That
just
poor
to
guy.
catch up before I slip right in as if nothing mattered. Was Fat Jay talking shit? Was shit talking me?
You did say tell Jay to go fuck himself,
Did
right?
you tell him? Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Totally
Sure,
did.
Miss Laura.
But
motherfucker.
we weren't sure if that's what you said. But
No,
that's,
I did. That's
okay.
definitely what
Yeah,
I
that's.
said.
But Jay, I think Jay has disappeared.
Good.
I did tell him to get in here, so I'm hoping
I
he's
think
on
he
his
was
way.
saying something
Is he
about
on his way?
having
I hope so.
sickness.
He
yeah.
is actually
Racist sickness on today's comedy.
because I said rigor.
Yeah. Well, I think I might have taken a little further.
No, Jay is Jay is one of the few people that like if something gets all squirrely in comedy or whatever, I run it by him because I think
Absolutely.
he's unbelievably fair and he has a good, you know.
I often like
take
there's
of the-
periods of times that go by where I'm like we haven't sat down and really shared.
I think he's got a good take on the space and where,
God, yeah.
like the people that are doing better or worse or if you were me, like what would you do kind of thing and he's ridiculous. And they're running that comedy fishing trip. You saw that, Mike's.
Yeah, they do it every year. At least even the pandemic didn't they do the pandemic
they
year
did.
too? So as far as I know, it's been going on for at least the last like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to go, but my son likes to, my 21-year-old son, like 20, whatever he is. No.
Well, the fact that it's on Monday, I may actually.
So my son had wanted to go, so I said, can I send my son? Because I can't go, because, whatever. He's trying to, like, his friends or whatever. Nothing. It doesn't matter. But I'm like, this is a good,
Wow.
like, I'm like, they're a healthy.
There's a lot more there.
There's a lot
actually.
more. Anyway, this looks like a healthy bunch of guys that he should hang out with. So if that's any
Are
indication.
you what?
If you've seen my son Friends, if I think that group of comics
So, yeah,
is a safer place for my son.
Sending him out with Keegan and Landolfi is like safer.
I thought so. Well, my son enjoys a good chuckle. But I was going to not be here. So I was like, oh, could he? And they go, yeah, he can come with his friends or whatever. So now I may be here because I called Jay. I was like, Mike, look, as long as I know Jay was not going to molest him, which I'll warn him. So Jay's like, bring your grandmother's chicken cutlets. I'll give you weed.
Listen, little Patton,
Your mother's sick.
you bring the chicken parm, and I'm gonna let it go by.
You could bring
Be
some
all
of your
right.
grandmother, make a tray of chicken cutlets. So she's like, I'll give you weed for chicken cutlets. I'm like, Jay, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm not giving Miss Patton. I'm not giving you the weed. It's for the young guy. He obviously wants
He's
it.
getting it anyway. Why not get it for chicken
Get the good
cutlets?
stuff. I'm gonna give him the good stuff, Laura.
None of this city garbage, Miss Patton. So, and now I can make, because I'm going to be in Charleston next week, because I flew my
cool.
family
Cool.
just for shits and giggles. But again, there's more to that story, but it doesn't matter.
Obviously.
I always is.
Shits and giggles is like
When the
shorthand
mics-
for like I'm going through an existential crisis.
Is Tony going to adjust his leg?
Maybe or cry. I hope
We don't
it's-
really need-
I hope he went over to cry.
How
actually.
funny is that? You move over to the
He's giving me
seat.
the finger.
Tony is not necessary today. Tony doesn't have to come in on Friday.
That's what I'm saying. I know how to turn it on now. 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, he had a blowout, and
Big party.
no, see, that's what I thought too. And I'm like, oh, you
He's like, I had a
didn't
party.
fucking invite me? You just tell I'm having a blowout, and it just hasn't stopped since 6 o'clock yesterday. Like that's, I'm like,
A
you fucking
tire?
ass, a tire, just completely.
Who's gets blowouts? What did he roll over?
One-legged guys. I have no clue. The
You know what? No offense.
It looks terrible.
He couldn't drive with 3 tires.
Well, he's fucking.
Well, it looks terrible. His
I know.
nub.
You know, you'd think a guy with one leg
One leg
would
should be
have
able to
no
drive-
problem with
drive
driving
with
with
3
3 tires. It's like the same fucking thing, isn't
What's
it?
the difference? Just lean.
I gotta see if I can find the picture. It was
What
like
if his leg?
no, yeah. Well,
He posts that too.
I'm not gonna show you those ones because those are tasteful.
Oh, his third
It's art.
leg?
It's art.
The one where you drew a face on it, I'm struggling a little.
I just like it when it's like, oh, I have the Mets. The Mets are on my. This isn't even like the bad.
That's a legit blowout.
But it like if you were to look at like I think when they towed it and it was rotated, he took a picture of it, and it's just like it's like across the treads.
Really?
So it's like how does that? I've never even seen that.
Where was he
happen.
running? I mean, where was he driving?
Okay, so I don't know Nassau.
Holes in the stories.
Like I know North Queens and I know Suffolk for the most part.
But how do you get from North Queens to Suffolk?
Well, I'm originally from Astoria, and my dad lived in Douglaston.
So yeah, okay.
And Glen Oaks and like that
You know
whole
that
area.
side.
My brother went
the
to
Clearview.
Cardoza.
You're all about the Clearview. I'm with you.
When I was a kid, I went to CYO by the Whitestone Bridge.
I'm with you.
But he's like, I'm right by Old Country. And what was the other fucking...
Old Country Road and what?
And what?
Where'd you get your blowout?
What was the cross?
Tony, we don't know why you can't drive a car with 3 wheels. That's all I'm saying.
you have
for a
one
guy
leg.
like you.
Old Country Road and South Oyster Bay Road.
That's it. And I'm like, I know this is English.
Right, you might as well be in France.
I have no clue. What,
That's by Hicks.
En France, je suis...
Would that be Hicks and the Milleridge?
Je sais le
No,
France.
nowhere near the Milleridge. No, that's
Jericho,
107.
Jericho,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
107 and Jericho Turnpike.
But so I went.
That's more Middle Island.
And I got the ticket. Well, no, Middle Island's where the people with the hairy feet are, out by me in Suffolk.
Is it?
There's actually a place called Middle Island.
Oh.
Yeah.
In Suffolk. Matter of fact, my kids are there right now. They went
In
to
Middle
Longwood
Island?
Public Library to pick up a specific.
Longwood had a good
manga.
lacrosse team.
Longwood, it's a big school district, and they draw from a lot of talent. They are always competitive in every.
Yeah, because I grew up in Elmont, so that was.
every- yeah,
oh,
that-
look, I mentioned Elmont. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. 11:55.
Well, at least it's not Hicks.
Elmont.
Well, that's where the car blew out, right on the Plainview-Hicksville border.
There we go. Bing, 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 bing. Before noon.
But I went up and I got the keys. I know how to turn all this on.
We were saying we were going to commandeer. We were going to do the I'm the captain now, and we were going to take over your panel.
Look at me.
We were not. We were going to lock you out.
Look at me.
I'm the captain.
I'm the Tony Walker now.
I'm the captain. If I could get paid for this, I would sit and bullshit all day.
Oh,
And I wish I could pay you.
I know.
Believe
But
me,
I
both
mean
of you.
But I mean in general.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
hear ya.
machine.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was funny. I was sitting. I'm like, oh my god, I love to talk. So anyway, I was at a wedding with my husband, Addie. Well, again, the husband that I really can't shit talk because
I'm always interested. You say I like out east a lot, and where are you talking
This was
about?
Riverhead. It was legit.
Oh, okay.
Out east. Yeah. And then my sister was at Hamptons. That's such a sweatshirt
Right.
I wore. The sweater. But anyway, we were at this wedding. His friend Stinky Pete got married. There is like fantasy football guys. So we're at Stinky Pete's wedding, and I'm being all like lady, or I'm like, oh, I said to my husband because I was like drawing attention to like the parts of my, which is such a bit. This conversation could have went really bad, and I'm like,
Right.
oh, do you notice my arms? Do you think it's bad? I'm like, oh, what about? And I started like pointing to all parts of my body, which bothered me. I'm like, do they bother you? You know, he was gonna lose, no, whatever the answer. He goes, honey, there's only one part of your body that I don't like. So my sister was like, ooh. He goes. He's the one that puts out all those words.
That's actually a great answer.
I thought that was a great answer.
Yeah, because there's no because you're not you've been backed into. I personally like to say things like, to be honest, honey, I'm not even paying attention to you.
But he said he goes.
I try not to think about it.
He said
yeah.
so many words.
Yeah.
So then I doubled down. I go, oh yeah. Well, if you give up the words, you give up everything else that's about that.
Oh well,
Yeah.
no real loss there. Can't take away from you. Can't divide by zero, Laura. Can't
Listen,
divide
it's
by
birthday
zero.
month, so come on, come on, let's be generous. So anyway, that's what we. So what we were talking about before? Do we even go back to?
I want to know who Sarge is.
Oh, Sarge. Sarge is amazing. Sarge is
A comedian?
A comedian.
Oh.
A good friend of Marla's. He was a city comic that sort of parlayed his whole career now. He moved down to Florida, and he just owns all those Florida development, like where all these wealthy...
Is he the one giving Snare all that work?
Snare? I don't know who
Adam Snare?
No, you wouldn't. know.
No. He just did something up here. He came up for a little bit. Marla did a show with him, and then Tugboat Manny did
Oh, sure.
something
Oh,
with
okay.
him.
Yeah.
And Sarge's backstory, I just met, and I'm just like a brilliant, like, you know, one of these brilliant comics, like I can't believe is not. He was
Right.
on the Best Damn Sports Show. He started that.
Oh,
and
sure.
He's
Tom Arnold.
He's a great net guy who was adopted by a Jewish couple. He, his parents, he's like in his probably 66 or something like that. His mom was Orthodox. His dad, you know, from his 23andMe was Zimbabwean. So he's black and Jewish. So that was his thing.
Oh, he's
so
bluish.
Bluish. So he grew up in Great Neck. He was adopted by a Jewish couple growing up in Great Neck in the 60s and 70s, which had to be difficult. And he has red hair and freckles and
Oh, jeez.
you name it. He's like the one on Fat Albert. I can't remember the one that looked like that. But anyway, that's not racist. But anyway,
You say it may be so.
his
right?
story
Makes it
is
so.
he came home from his parents took him to see Sound of Music when he was like 5, and he sat down at that piano and just from ear just started playing
Oh, wow.
all the music. So he's a piano savant, and so he went to Juilliard, and then he went to a boarding school. Then addiction took over, and he spent years like on Angel Dust under bridges, and then he models and comics, and he met Gary Marshall, and he's just an amazing man. He had a book. I don't know how you guys don't
Yeah.
know
I
of
I
him.
feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to go
Once
ahead and
I
look
said
at this,
it, and now
and
it's
then I'm
gonna,
gonna be like,
pop up. Oh my God.
And I might know him by like a name.
He was a seller guy in the 90s and stuff, and then he came somehow this Florida thing panned out, and he commands it. He makes a ton of money, cruise ships and stuff. He's like wound up taking care of his parents. They moved down there, but amazing his recovery. He's probably clean, I think, a little over 20 years, so he has an amazing recovery story.
Right.
But he's brilliant, quick.
Right.
Just he had a bit about boarding the plane, how people, all the people that have a fake
I know who
accent.
that is.
You know Sarge?
I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really,
Yes, I definitely
really good. Seen him,
yes.
yeah. He was phenomenal. He did an hour and a half, like without breaking a sweat, at this Great Neck Middle School, this fundraiser for the Gold Coast Arts Center. It was Marla, and he usually doesn't bring an opener because he has like rabid followers, and sometimes people are like, I didn't come to see you. So he's like, I don't want to subject my friends to that. But he was on Long Island, so he had Marla, and then he did something with Tugboat Mania and stuff.
Is he still in town? Because he's been all over the island this week.
He drove up from Florida.
Yeah.
And I think he was just been hitting spot of like these like community centers. Like not.
Why
like
is he not with
high-end.
you here today?
I don't know. I didn't ask
What
him.
the
I
fuck?
know. If I was here, if he came in, you wouldn't have wanted me. He's so good. So smart.
Well, that's not true, but I would want him here, but I
He's
always want
brilliant. Reach out to him the next time he comes up to New York, because I
All
think
right.
he comes up maybe once. It's lucrative, and he just has parlayed it into. He's incredibly successful at it.
Very cool.
Really good, smart. Like, oh my God, he talks about bowling, like putting your finger in the holes, and he's just. And he's quick, so now he does the whole show. He does almost 90 minutes. He's hilarious, and then in the end, he takes out a pad and he goes, "All right, throw out songs for me." And he goes, if I've heard it, I can play it. And then he does a medley on the piano.
Oh wow.
Just
of like-
you
That's
just
so
call it any
cool.
old song and he'll play it.
Someone,
Wow.
So
someone
jealous
called
of
out the
that.
Flintstone theme, and he like, there's always an asshole in the audience or whatever. And he sat and he played like this medley of songs, and then he like signed autographs at the end, and
Wow.
a monster.
That is so
and he's
cool.
really, really. He came up with Marla and Marla's friend that I can't remember her name, that he had passed. They had a mutual friend in the
Right.
90s. I don't. I feel.
I'm
bad.
sure
I don't
that's
remember.
never going to become an issue.
I know. I'm
I
sure
can't
she's not gonna
remember
be
your
mad at
friend's
me.
name. whatever that friend,
I'll say
really good
Steve,
friend
and
of
she's
yours.
like, how do you not remember? Whatever.
Right.
He had gotten pancreatic cancer, so they were all like, they're like, you have your little pot of who you come up with in
Yeah.
comedy.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Well, that's
so,
that's the whole Jay.
that your Billy?
Well, no, Billy was around for a while before, but Winchell, Jay, Emily, like that's kind of
your class.
that. Yeah.
I don't know who's my class, because I don't know, because of COVID.
Look,
like, it's weird.
When you're a little older, it's weird because you kind of don't end up being able to connect with, and not from your own.
You don't go
It's
through the
young
trenches,
people,
right?
The young
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't connect with you,
Right.
You're making yourself available, and
Right.
you're listening, and you're nice to them, and then they're like, they go out and produce shows and go, oh, I cannot think of Andy. Could you help me figure out who I can put on this show?
Yeah, and you're like, how about me?
How about I'm sitting right in front of you? Yes, like that sort of.
I know. And I sort of have jumped a little in like if I was saying like who might be, like I'll go with Teddy, I'll go with Marla, I'll go with Rick has become a really good friend of mine. So I'm running with people that have 30 years
Right, but
experience.
age has a
Yeah,
huge
yeah, and the
influence on
age.
that.
Yeah,
but you
absolutely right.
identify with that, like it's, and they or really more they identify with you. They're able to be like, oh well, you're
I know.
like me. And you're like, no, I am
Carrie
not.
made a comment to me the other day. She goes, when I was your age, I'm like, oh my God, I'm older than you. She goes, so now we use the term when I was your comedy age.
Comedy age, yeah.
When I was 3 years in comedy, that sounds like what I did. So
we were
use
just
your comedy age.
in like 2 weeks, I'm going to be at my 6-year
Comedy
anniversary.
age?
Yeah.
I don't know how I count COVID.
Oh,
So
I just count it because everybody went through it. So we
it's a
all
push.
aged the same way.
So then I'm
through.
just 3 years now. I just came up, coming in my fourth year. So February was 3 years of, and I had to, listen, for 3 years, I'm knock wood, I'm grateful to where I've.
Well, and so you have the force of personality to be able to get yourself to be in positions to go further than like a younger person starting out at the same time.
And I'm also in Manhattan too, which helps.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's so many factors that.
And it's so hard. Like someone like in Port Jeff, like to drive into the city for a bringer, to spend all that money.
Dude, that's where I live.
I get it. I totally get it.
Like Port Jeff, that's like it takes me 2 minutes to get down Port.
Yeah.
So that's how close I am to there. It is a haul to do anything because Port Jeff especially doesn't have like a direct, like the Northern State Parkway ends in Smithtown.
Right.
The expressway
so you're on like that weird whatever.
You travel 5 miles on Nichols Road to get north from the expressway.
It's sort of like getting lights to get to Manhattan. It just boggles my mind.
And forget about, it's not the getting there. It's 2 a.m. and the streets are empty as you're just pulling on 347 into town.
It's a lot. And to go in for 6 minutes that you had to bring 8 friends, like it's tough. So I'm trying to navigate. I did a show 2 weeks ago that was really great. I befriended this woman, Deborah Tamer, who she's from London, and her husband has a big, whatever. Anyway, she has a pocket of Upper West Side friends and people that she knows. And she did a one-woman show in London. She's just a really, like, an interesting, like,
right.
If I was going to meet someone from New York City, like, to me, like, she's like an interesting.
She's kind of like that old school, like
somebody has stories.
People who are interested. It used to be Manhattan was full of interesting people. Now it's not.
And Deborah tapped into a group of interest. So she did a spot at the Bitcoin Theater. She put me on the show, and the host was this kid who's from the Zabar, like this young comic who's from the Zabar family. And then she had a woman that painted, and then she had a woman that did it was a standing cello, but a tiny electric.
cut people's heads off.
Bunyan
with like an
axe.
Dull axe.
Cheese wheel. So it was just a really, and then David has I'm gonna mess up his name. Do you know David, who's been coming out with Olga, the Moroccan guy?
Yeah,
he's so good, and he's such a nice person too.
Every time I see him, I'm like, dude, I have this idea for like a movie. Yeah. I don't have any specifics. All I know is I think you would be a group of friends, and you would be like the good-looking, cool one.
Yeah, he's ridiculously
like kind of the Bradley Cooper of whatever
he's really
group.
Kind. He's very funny. So he's been coming out here, and I'm sure to explain like. The Long Island crowd is not a New York City crowd, and just adjusting. But it was him, Sonia V. I'm so bad with names. But Sonia, like the Indian women that are like, my dad was going to stone me because.
I don't think I've seen her.
Sonia, she's. It was good. It was a really good show. So that was very interesting. So
Sonia
I get
Galp.
experiences like that.
Sonia Galp. That's my last name backwards.
Oh. So I try, and Andrew Washington, I give him a lot of credit for really.
No, I have a lot of respect.
He is grinding.
He absolutely is.
He is grinding, and again, I'm like,
definitely metal on metal.
I need your confidence, my young Padawan.
Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to say anything bad because he's grinding. That dude puts himself out there.
And he's unbelievably generous to me. And he puts me on stuff, which is nice. And his fiance, Melissa, is a doll. She's super nice. So he's been good. I'm doing something in the Village Idiot in July.
Oh, that's right around the corner from me.
See, I don't even know all that.
When I see it, I will probably stop by.
And Patchogue, and he had something lined up through Riverhead, but now I think the Riverhead Theater is like closing or something's going on.
Is it? It's closing?
There's some Riverhead Theater.
Oh no,
Not the
Suffolk
big
Theater.
one.
Not the
No,
Suffolk Theater.
Oh,
No.
Small.
It's up and it's like upstairs because somebody was
It was just in Newsday.
Somebody was just telling me to use that for the thing that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
The thing these things
The
about that not including.
Levitt Hall or something.
That's not true. Actually.
Yeah, whoa. Ooh.
Take that back. The right? Because haven't I? Thank you.
Thank you.
I just don't have I don't have things
Lined
squared
up.
away.
Well, I have
She should be a
equipment.
part of it, though.
That's what I.
I have
that's what I
equipment.
said. Like I thought of two people.
Yeah.
And the two people that I said. Her.
But you got to ask and yell because it was funny because I talked to Chris Roach after the show, and Chris, I was like, "Thank you so much," and all my people talking about how great he was or whatever. He's like, "Oh, I was telling Chris Monty about it," and I go, "You can tell Chris Monty he could eat a bag of D's because until that fuck puts a lady on a show." But I tell Chris to his face, I'm not because we both grew up in Elmont and we have mutual friends. I'm like, "You get me on a show," and we're gonna be like, "Not for nothing."
Scoring at home, that is two Elmont references from Laura Patton.
Manon. Kisteka. But yeah, no, it's so Andrew has been good.
Yes.
Siku Ali just asked me. Did I
He's
say his name
great.
right? He's
Yeah.
great. He does the joke.
I was supposed to meet him. There was the winery show, the Greg the Greek winery show, but he did. He's on the bottle of wine that they gave all.
But he
of
didn't
us,
come to the-
But he wasn't there. Yeah.
He just asked me. So he does Joke Masters and he does it in Queens and Springfield Gardens and stuff like that. So I can work urban. Just want to say, putting it out there on my
geez.
dossier.
Marc Herschmann is
Oh, this is
decided to
actually
show
the
up
first
here.
time I'm
Look
meeting
at
him.
this.
We just became Facebook friends.
Hi,
What's
Mark.
up, buddy?
I met you one time when I had rickets. I was very ill.
Oh, I hope
I
you
was
don't
coughing.
have them now.
No, I'm well.
No, I just have this fungus on my hand.
Thanksgiving
It's my
show.
shaking hand, so it's not a big deal.
No, it was a Thanksgiving show, and I was trying to say I was. I
remember
was.
that.
Yes, and you were like, "You're sick." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah, rickets. Hi, Tone.
I had calaria.
What are you guys up to in here?
You seem to bring the best out in people.
Just
Like,
making cheese.
Keegan,
Yeah, usual.
when Keegan had COVID,
Right.
or he's always sick with something.
Well, he's
when
got
you-
something. He has swine flu, chicken pox. He's got something going on at all times.
Malaria.
Yeah.
Thank God the swelling's gone down on him, though.
Well, yes, that's certainly true in most places. What's happening in here today? I hope it's okay that I popped in.
Of course it's okay that you
Yeah.
popped in. This is
Yeah.
great. Absolutely. We appreciate it.
I got out of my previous commitment a little early, and then my mother had said, "Can you go over to the Cow to get me a turkey sandwich for lunch?" And I looked at the clock, and I'm like, you know what? There's probably about 20 minutes left in this show.
Oh, there's more than that.
Where's the cow that makes turkey sandwiches?
Next door.
Right next door.
Oh, that's just what you
Joy.
call the thing.
Well,
I
so
thought
it's
it was
called,
like a.
It's called the Cow because I don't know if it still does, but it used to be painted black and white like a cow on the side.
Yeah, it is. It still
I
is.
think
Still
it's
is, yeah. So
I don't know. I just spent almost a half an hour waiting for an egg sandwich.
Oh yes,
So,
yeah,
you
guys
you
take
can do
care of me
that.
over there.
But we have some pull there. Hershey and the Keegs, they know us from the banner. So
Right. We're sick of looking at this thing.
did you drive through? Is that why you were on that long line? Yeah.
No, but it wasn't long. I was the fourth car.
You
Oh,
walk
yeah,
in.
no,
You
that
gotta
And
go
it
in.
still took 40 minutes.
no, fourth might as well be 400 on that
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. it
So
was-
I'll explain to you if you've never been inside the actual deli. The grill itself is probably smaller than this table.
Oh, okay. It's one of those places.
They,
Right on.
So they're limited in what they're able to do.
Right.
But it's a mean egg sandwich, though.
To be honest, like it's just an egg sandwich.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I've got two places in Port Jeff that
whoa.
are
Well,
just as
listen.
good, if
Who's
not
going
better.
to
No,
Narnia?
that's
Talking
fine.
smack.
Listen, if you have everyone feels that their egg sandwich place is the best.
Right.
For me, a bodega in Freeport makes the best egg sandwich.
On a roll or on a bagel?
No, on a roll.
On a
It's
bagel
too
roll.
much.
Bagel's too much.
You know what it is? Bagels struggling through bacon and eggs on a bagel. It's just it's a little bit of a battle
Agree.
for me.
Agree. I
want
agree.
the soft bite.
I do
Soft
do
bite.
an egg everything every now and
Seated or
then,
not
but I feel like
seated roll?
that's like
Unseated
a
always.
it's like a
Always.
later
Oh, I
it's a
think we're
later in
gonna
life kind of thing.
Maybe.
The bagel thing. You know
Maybe
what
it
I'm
is.
saying?
I mean, I will tell you that a few years ago when I was in real estate, a buddy turned me on to egg everything bagel with cream cheese and bacon.
That's
And
my
it's-
jam.
Yeah, that's quite a
Oh, yeah,
that's
dude.
quite a thing.
Scallion cream cheese and bacon is
Scallion.
really...
I was about to say scallion cream cheese is the way to go.
I have to tell you, I'm more of an olive cream cheese kind of girl.
I love olive cream cheese too.
Yeah.
But not with the bacon.
No. You don't want to mix. That's too many.
Olive and bacon.
But now do you go to A&S Bagels in Franklin Square?
I'm a Valley Stream boy originally.
Shut up, I'm
so,
an Elmont girl.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I know
there we go.
A&S
Ding,
very
ding,
well.
ding.
Hat
3
trick.
times.
So
I don't even have a hat to throw.
So interesting.
camera
I'm noticing
right
here,
now.
and I'm always curious, obviously, from when me and Mike do our show, who decides to wear headphones? You guys do not. None of you guys do?
No.
Only if there's a phone call.
Interesting.
Only
My
phone
ears will
calls.
get all sweaty and everything.
So interesting.
It's
Hi. Mike,
Everyone's just
they
popping
said
in.
that people you get cooties from the that they never change the condoms. So
I
was
actually
fearful of the
usually
life.
spray, and Tony knows I'm wiping things down.
Oh yeah, I'm actually shocked that you put the headphones on.
You know what?
actually,
Because I figured I don't want to be a disruption. I already was a disruption, so I figured
on Tuesdays, you mean?
Should
Yeah.
we wear the headphones, Andy? I feel like we should.
No, I'm absolutely not.
I'm going
I'm
to.
gonna, my ears will get all sweaty. It's
Yeah,
gross.
no, I don't
Whose
think you
ears
need
sweat?
to. I don't think you need to at
I'm
all.
Greek.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means I
Ear
sweat.
sweat.
From your ears?
How do you think they make Greek yogurt?
Iran, Iraq, I sweat.
Yeah,
the
I'm a
next
sweater.
one.
I'm a sweater by nature, but
Don't
not
use
my
that
ears are
again.
very cool though. But yeah, I don't think people need to wear them. I have a comfort level of wearing them for whatever reason.
Right.
I like wearing them. Tony generally does with the
Well,
mouth.
only
the
because my
microphone.
mic is
Well, I
attached.
don't have the
Before
mic.
when
That's
they
the
used
only
to have,
reason.
when they used to have the mic that was like
Yeah, we used to
Oh, it's right
used to
here.
sit right here, and then it was like all low, and it just
Nobody
blocked, and it
ever
was in
wore
the
the-
way,
the-
and
it was too much.
headphones.
it was too
Yeah.
much.
But now I feel like I'm at that restaurant that was at Republic Airport.
Oh, the
where you
56 fighter group.
Yes.
Oh, remember that joint?
Well, I guess
Oh,
I
I
used
hung
to
out there all the
have-
time.
Why did they? What happened to that?
I don't know. And you would
Is
be on a
it not
date
there
and
anymore?
you would
They
sit
were
next to your
they-
date and they
the
would push the
fucking
table
Japs.
in.
Oh, they got him. Hiroshima.
fucking
Yes.
Japs.
Yeah.
That's racist.
Pearl Harbor.
Jeez.
That is racist.
It is.
I would
But
never
true.
say a word like rigger.
Bunch of riggers over there. Tell you
Hold
that.
on, Max is calling. I'm going to put him on. Hold
Oh,
on.
all right.
Sure.
Mark's-
What's up, Maxie?
Let's
Mark's
get more
son.
people.
Get the band in here.
Chipotle that we went to last on Sunday.
The Chipotle we went to on Sunday. Where is that?
Did it burn down?
Barbershop.
Oh, okay. All right. Be careful. Love you. Bye.
How old is
Bye.
he?
He's 6.
Oh, he's going to
No. He's 13.
Oh.
He's 13.
I was about to say, it sounds like he has
Well-
some sort of like thyroid problem.
Well, no. It's interesting you say that, but my wife, my 2 daughters, and my son all sound like they've been smoking 40 packs a day for years. They all have that throaty
Yeah.
Janis Joplin voice. Yeah, that's
we
just his
call it
voice.
a bubble voice in my house.
Yeah,
What's
no,
it
his
called?
is like
Bubble.
it's like they all can sing very well. They have that like Janis Joplin smoky voice. But that call, I'll explain why. He normally wouldn't make that, except that the other day my wife and I were coming back from out east, and he was out with his friends, and I live 360'd
Right.
him.
That absolutely
I
was how it
tracked him to a
Northport.
barber shop in Wantagh.
Oh.
and
Mad Men?
whatever the one by Ivorone is. I don't know what that barbershop
No,
is.
that's
No,
not
that's
Mad Men.
not it. Mad Men
There's like
is next to
30
Dirty
barbershops
Taco.
just in Port Jefferson. There has to be twice that many in
Yeah,
Wantagh.
If not
You're
more.
trying to like be like,
No, because
there's
it's known.
one.
And no, it's a
Oh,
big
is it?
deal. It's like it's a very cool one. Like I
Like
go.
Astor Place. It's the Astor
Yes,
Place
yes,
of
yes. So there's a
Wantagh.
Mad Men in Wantagh
This
and
was-
in Mineola.
This is Mad Men-esque, though, like that
Oh,
chic
nice.
kind of
Very
thing.
cool.
So I track him down. I walk into the place, and we had been pestering him to get a haircut forever, my wife and I. He just had one of those mop tops that the kids are doing.
They won't cut their hair
And I was
anymore.
begging
Doing the
him
Jordan
to get a
Bieber,
buzz.
Justin Bieber?
And sure enough, I walk into the barbershop, and he's sitting there, and he's getting a crew cut. He's getting a total buzz
Took
cut.
it all off.
And I said to him, I said, you don't have any money. How is this happening?
Is he sweeping?
I lost the bet.
He
lost
just,
the bet.
He just negotiated with the guy, and the guy was like, "I'll just do it for free."
Wow.
Yeah, and he gave Max a free haircut. Wouldn't take the money from me. I gave him $10
What?
tip anyway. But now, because he got in a little heat that he had made a life decision like that, without letting his parents know, we said, if you go somewhere today beyond the usual
How old is
baseball
he?
field, he's 13. They travel with their bikes, and they
Yeah.
travel in packs.
Is Wantagh home for you? Is that where
Levittown,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's so it's one town over, but it's not that far, but it's
I
far
thought
enough
they
that
were
we
like-
should know what you're doing.
It's,
So-
yeah, it's far enough
yeah,
from
we
you.
should
Yeah.
just know what's happening.
Yeah.
So he's going to Chipotle. If anyone's looking for Max,
Anybody with a
down.
white van, be on
Yeah,
the lookout for a boy with a
exactly.
clean shaven head.
oh please, you don't want to mess with this kid and his crew. They'll be emptying the van very, very quickly.
Well, that's how it starts. So now mine are 19 and 20. So It just.
I have 2 of those also.
Oh,
I have
you
I have a
do?
20-year-old girl, an 18-year-old girl, and then my boy is 13.
So a boy that has girl sisters is a better boy than just a boy and a boy, you know.
He's a very good boy, but
His son's nickname is Whoops.
yeah.
Same mother.
Same mother, yeah,
Same
same
mother.
mother. And he's basically just his father. I mean, he's a funny kid. He gets in trouble, but not like murdering people in trouble.
Oh, so you're not his father then?
Right. That's exactly
More
what
along the
it
lines
is.
of manslaughter.
Well, the funny thing is, so my oldest kid, the 20-year-old, who's a spitting image of me, she has the Jewy look to her like I do. But my wife is Irish, blue, red hair, blue eyes,
Now
freckles.
you say Jewy. Are you Jewish that you could say
I am
that?
Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
could say.
I just want to
hold
know
on.
how canceled
Wait a
I am.
second. Hold
Rigger,
on.
please.
Do you listen to me and Mike's show? We say
No.
whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
I,
That's the
no, I
truth.
just was making sure. I
Yeah.
did hear the one with Hugh Murray.
Hugh Murray,
I listened,
yeah.
I listened on the train when he was talking about his addiction path. You guys were it was
How
an
great of a show
unbelievable.
that was
It was a really good show, and I actually reached out to him after.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I really did. So I'm someone in recovery, and my story was not as bad as his, and I'm like a one and done. I was like, oh,
Yeah, his story is an
One and done.
ongoing story. We
Right.
love Hugh, and we were very proud of that show.
It was
Yes.
it was a wonderful. I
Yeah.
caught it. I was on the railroad, and if it pops up with the live, like if I
Yeah.
can't, to go back and I listened, and it was an excellent show, and he was really
She'd
good.
be great on your show.
Oh, that's
She
good
would
to
be
know.
great.
And
Okay,
my
good.
my favorite episode was actually where Mike was hammered.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
God.
And
yeah.
he left his car on in the parking lot.
Yes.
That's exactly right, and it's funny
Carla
that
knocked
I even
on the
talked
door.
about it on this week that we missed a couple of weeks. My father-in-law had passed, and Tony had bad chicken, and there was
He had to
we missed
blow
a few
out. Tony
weeks.
had to blow
But
out.
I would say I got at least 10 texts or calls saying, "Hey, maybe bring a little booze for Keegs," because
Yeah.
people were really loving and he wasn't annihilated, but he had just enough sake squirts in his mouth from the Japanese food restaurant that night that he was definitely giddy.
No, he was. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
he was definitely
I've been
giddy.
around him through different phases.
Oh,
of
yeah.
being drunk.
Yes.
and that was fun, Mike.
Well,
that was definitely fun.
It's
Mike
a great
level.
point Andrew makes because there's different levels. Like I've been with Mike when he's dragged down, like you better watch out because he's going to kiss you in the mouth type of drunk.
Richie Byrne.
Yeah, so that's definitely not the drunk we want for our show. But went out for Japanese food with the family. He took 6 or 7 squirts, forgot to turn the car off when he got to the parking lot, and he
Is there a negative side of drunk Mike? Like is there like a fighting?
Well, the negative side is you're a 51-year-old heterosexual male. You don't want his tongue in your throat. So that's a negative.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
But there's
I
not
think.
I've
Well,
never
you
seen
got to
like-
direct where he's putting the tongue.
Well,
Yes.
right.
But angry. I've never seen like a bitter, mean
Yeah,
version.
no,
I don't think
I've
that's
ever
his personality. But listen, we can try. I mean, people were really enjoying
Hugh
that
has some
episode.
stories of Mike being a little feisty.
Oh, I
know
bet.
that. I've heard.
Yes,
a couple
I bet
of
he
those,
does. Yeah.
But
But I bet if you were with you back in the day, you would have to like step up your game. Like you
probably
couldn't
Hugh
come
sounds like
live.
a couple of my buddies that I grew up with.
Yeah, you can't come to play.
You make a good point that if you're out with your
Yeah.
friend and he's lit up on heroin, you might want to
course,
have
you have to
a couple
step
extra
up,
drinks,
of
or you feel left out.
course.
Yeah. That's a good
Oh
point.
man, you just banged a rail.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like do 10 Irish car bombs in a row to catch up.
One more kamikaze, please. Yeah.
Well, Jay, Miss Laura, what can I bring you to catch up, Miss Laura?
All I'm saying is call me.
That's
I'll
good.
come out.
Not for nothing.
Miss Patton, I'll beat it.
I don't know what you're drinking, but I sure want what you have.
Listen, you want to smoke that trash weed that your son gets?
That's
Be my fucking guest.
you want some chicken cutlet delivered. I got the weed for
I
you.
really thought
Miss
Jay
Laura.
was going to
I'm
show up.
just
I really
saying,
did.
If there's chicken cutlet, you're getting high tonight, Laura.
Oh,
Jay is at the
was he supposed
cow.
to come?
Jay is
No,
at the
but-
cow.
What? He's at.
Jay's at the cow. He's
Seriously?
the fourth car. No.
Oh.
He
He was commenting earlier, so we were telling him to come
Oh,
in.
to
That's a
come in.
callback,
Okay,
Tony
gotcha. Was he
Walker.
on the show this week or no?
No, that he hasn't been here in a few
No, I
months.
know you said there was.
I keep bugging him, but
I think he's been busy. He's got a lot of
he's
stuff
got
in
the
flux.
sickness, and I'll explain that. I'll explain it to you when we're off the air.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you
sickness?
when we're off the air.
The sickness.
Chlamydia?
Yes.
Way to open up the can of beans there, buddy, and then not talk about it.
All 9 people that are listening are going to wonder.
Just say that he's okay, though, for people.
Oh, he's totally okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's totally
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
The sickness can mean a lot. I mean,
No, there's sickness.
It's what he refers to as, and actually
The
he'll
comedy,
give
yeah,
Frank
yeah.
Macri is the one who originated it. Is when people start in comedy and they're like, "Yo, all I need is 3 people to come, and I'm going to be on this huge stage." And
Right.
you're like, "Right, you're just doing a bringer, guy. Like, calm down."
Right.
That's the sickness.
Gotcha.
That's part of the sickness.
Like
Understood.
I did a show in the Comedy Cove, so Bob DeBona. And so I was hosting. So it was 90% a bringer, and then it was I'll remember the guy's name at the end, but Kareem Green. Kareem Green was really good. But so everyone, I'm like, what are your credits? Like, just trying to be like, what am I? And everyone, like, if you had more than 4 credits, that meant you just started comedy because you were like. I'm like, if one more person mentions Dangerfields, which isn't even here, I'm like, okay, we get it. When you say Dangerfields and Broadway, I'm not listening.
You know, out by us, what ends up happening is somebody, whoever's hosting, comes up and is like, "Hey, what do you want me to say?" And be like, "Are you fucking serious? Just all over Long Island in New York City and get."
Right.
Yeah, move
Like,
on.
what are you
But
doing?
why? Why is that bad? Because I do that when I host. I ask him, how do you want me to introduce you?
But like at this point, like the person who's hosting usually knows me.
And
it's like, dude,
whoa,
you know, I don't have any.
Andy.
Yeah, but I
credits.
don't. But I don't want to miss. Like, it might be points that you might want said that I'll miss. So I check with you. What do you want me to say?
Agreed. Because I just was
I'm not
speaking
saying
with
not
someone.
to do that, but I'm saying for like I'm talking from my perspective.
When you give the
I'm
credits,
not going to give like what credits do I have to give? I don't have shit. Like I'm just going to say like, oh,
I think 2 years ago I gave more credits than I give now. I go stop because you know what I have learned. I did a show with this guy's awful guy Howard Moore. Do you know Howard Moore?
No.
Oh,
yeah, I know that name. I can't.
It
place
was
I could
awful,
tell.
and I had to like buy like 30 tickets in a parking lot. It was awful, and it was a show in Belmore, and came out, and the show ran like 6 hours, and oh my god, whatever. Anyway, it was a really bad show, but he. Oh my God! What was I talking about? Oh, the credits.
Vaginas.
No, I'm not. Was
Go on.
that was 10 minutes ago? Vagina.
Damn, I showed up late again.
Staglamites in your pants.
Stalactites.
So there's 2.
The ones from the ceiling, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They would be from the ceiling because they couldn't be from the floor in a vagina. So anyway, he talked me up for like 15 minutes, and this one, and look, like people were expecting. I came out, and it was like a.
Oh, that's it. She's only that tall.
It came out, and it was a bit of an urban show, and they were not going to like me because I was not whatever. And I then doubled down. I did a Mary Capone, like, you know, when people don't like your stuff and then you get angry at the audience. I always accuse Mary of that. I go, Mary, stop.
Oh, is that when the audience is? I thought that was all the time.
No, when the
No,
audience
like-
doesn't laugh, and then instead of like trying to win them back, you then be like, you know, this worked in my kitchen. Like, what's Mary? That's like Mary. I tease Mary about it all the time.
My kids think this is funny.
But I'll be like, she's like, it worked last night. So anyway, I was like, what am I on, a chicken and waffles? It did not go well.
Boy, you went for the fucking golden ring,
For the kill.
the brass ring.
I've been doing stand up now for going on 13 years, and I used to give credits, and then I realized that for some reason, when the host goes up there to say the credits, they always fuck it up.
Yeah, and they
so
say
why
it
am
wrong,
I?
too.
I don't even bother
that's
anymore.
part
Like,
of it.
They turn
Nobody
fucking
cares.
spastic up there.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to say the right thing. Like I used to say that I was voted class cutest on my high school class, which is true. And then they would just say like his dog was voted, and I'm like, well, no, I didn't say
But
that.
what
at
are they
all.
going to say about you? Well, he performs at Governor's once a year. Like, what are they going to say about you?
That's true.
Wow.
He's-
No, but that's by choice.
He's
That's
a
by
regular.
choice.
He's a
Hold on.
regular governor, and by regular
Shut.
it means there's a period of time with
That he's
which
hot,
he
and
does.
Now all I
Yes.
want when I'm up there, just Hershey and the Keegs. That's all I want. That's all. That's
Nice.
all I'm trying to
Well, see,
plug.
John Butera, and he'll do it to like all of these guys, the hosts. Like they won't even come up to me anymore, and they'll go up and be like, "Winner of 2019 Aragonist comedy," and I'm like, "Oh God," because you're not. Like, I'm almost embarrassed.
All right. Well, speaking of hosts and speaking of Butera, how the hell is he hosting for Joey Cola tomorrow?
Where?
Here.
They asked him.
Who? No, I don't believe that.
No, they did ask.
No.
him.
I don't believe
I know
that for a
because that's
second.
what he said.
If John
I'm just
said
saying he
it,
always tells the truth.
it must
so.
be true.
I don't know
Listen,
what you guys
I
are
have to
talking
give
about.
John credit for his hustle. I will not. And he
He's
charges
nonstop.
some high prices for some things, and he
Yeah.
has full audiences and
My mother,
doesn't have
hold
as
on.
many. Okay,
Your mother?
Yeah, let's.
hang on.
His whole family's calling.
Mom, just on a radio show. Everything okay?
Yeah. Do they have like a Danish at this place?
Let me look. Hang on a second.
Wait a
Let me
second.
look.
You want
the Danish too?
You said
do
a
you
corn
want the
muffin,
Danish
a turkey
too?
sandwich.
You said
what
turkey
kind
sandwich.
of Danish?
Cheese.
I don't know.
We have raspberry.
I bet she says cheese.
Whatever they have.
All right, I'm leaving the radio studio in 2 minutes. I'll walk over and I'll just check it out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Barb?
No. Thank you.
Okay, Ma. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.
Get a prune Danish.
The funny thing is, she's called 3 different times with 3 different items today.
She couldn't collect her thoughts on what she really needs for lunch.
She happens to like the cow, though. She likes it there because the food's generally pretty fresh and they make a nice turkey sandwich. So
They're very nice people. Every time I've ever done.
Yeah, I love
them.
them.
Very,
Absolutely.
very,
I love
very
them.
good.
Yeah, you have quite the history with them. Yeah?
I have a history. Yeah.
So whenever people say Dana, so my husband was in a frat, his fraternity, where they would have like couch potato exchange, like trying to get. They were not like the ones like Coleman. We're gonna like. They were like just hang out.
Were there any words in that? I didn't get it. What?
And no,
I'm just
so my
smiling
husband
and
was
nodding.
frat. Anyway, but my husband was in college, so there's a rush to get new frat members. So they had shirts made. So you want to attract people to your house, and they really didn't want. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, they had shirts made that said "How's your Danish?" And whenever I hear the word Danish, how's your Danish? But they would walk around school. It was sort of like a conversation piece. It was very 1989.
See, I was being a big Islander fan. There was somebody in the message boards years ago who had a thing that said, "A donut with no holes is a Danish. A Danon with no holes is Franz Nielsen."
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah, no, it's
like
it's such a
that.
great like.
Well, what
Nielsen was my
happened
favorite
was-
Islander for that period.
Yeah, I love Franz.
with the Danish was because we went to UMass Amherst. There were a lot of international.
Yeah.
So these Danish people would come up and be like, "Ooh," and he was like, "What?"
I'm good. I'm good. How is your? I'm sorry. You look Italian.
Wait,
So then-
what's the UMass Amherst connection?
That's where I went.
So you graduated what year? Because I used to visit a lot. My best friend is
I
graduating.
1980.
graduated. No, stop. 1991.
You graduated in 81, so I spent a lot of time up there from 89 to 93.
We were
So
definitely
you guys
in
had
places.
sex.
My
So,
husband
well,
left
that's-
in,
that's like-
my
that would
be
husband left
so
in
cool.
92 or 93. He was like a
That would be
5-year
like the
program.
coolest fucking
I
thing.
lived in Southwest in the towers, and then I was in a sorority, Alpha Chi Omega.
my
on that
buddy lived off
That
campus,
sounds
but I
made
remember
up.
going up there. It was when John Calipari was the basketball
Yes,
coach
yes.
there, and Marcus Camby.
and Marcus Camby,
Yeah.
and it was
I
great.
love UMass Amherst.
That
Loved
was a
it.
great
The Danish
time.
thing I don't remember as much.
You wouldn't
but-
have known these 30
yeah.
guys walking around in the
Oh, okay,
Danish.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your friend's name? Maybe I know.
Dave Valicenti, his name is. He's an attorney. We'll off air. We'll talk
Yeah,
because there's
yeah.
a bunch of other people that I know.
And Mike
from that
Tannenbaum,
group.
do you know Mike Tannenbaum, who was like the
GM of
GM of the
the
Jets?
Tannenbaum.
Of course I do.
He was
Mike
in Lamb
And,
the
Tannenbaum.
and the
Kai.
song also.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did,
Oh, Mike
yeah.
Tannenbaum. So
Yeah.
he was the GM for the Jets, and he was also Lamb to Kai. He was a UMass Amherst guy.
I was a tri-lamb, lambda. That's what I was. Yes.
I know my Revenge of the Nerds. It was not real. It is not real for the 9
not.
people on this phone. That
Are you? Is this show? I don't want to cut you short here, but I got to
Don't
go.
be
get
No,
on
it's-
the run.
no,
we haven't
we're-
been filming for the last
Yeah,
2
we-
minutes.
No,
No.
we are just about done. So, quick, before you go, well, I'm going to ask everybody, what's the plans for the weekend?
Oh, my plans for the weekend. Let's see. My daughters are going to see Taylor Swift on Sunday in Jersey.
Oh, that's a big
So
ticket.
they're going very early. So we agreed to let them because they're old enough to take
Sure.
the public trans there. But I didn't really feel like letting them come home that way. So I am going to drive into Jersey on Sunday. I'm going to meet a buddy. We're going to go to dinner. We're going to
That's
spend
a
the
good
evening at
dad
the
move.
racetrack. We're going to gamble, smoke some stogies, and then when the Taylor Swift concert lets out, we'll take the kids home.
Wait, that's trotters or flats?
Well, there's probably no live racing on Sunday, but
so it's simulcast.
there's simulcast. There's the
They
sports
bring
book
out
there.
You're a
the
horse
dead
guy?
horse. They're the dead horses that day.
Oh, I'm
That's
a
what
horse
the
girl.
dead horses are. It's not live racing.
I am a horse
Just
girl.
the dead ones are just.
It's just
wild.
all dead ones.
You
We'll
just
have to
watch
talk
them
off
collect
air about
flies.
UMass and
We will.
horses.
We definitely will. Oh,
I
we'll
love
have you
the
on the
ponies.
show. We can
yes,
do
we
that.
can talk.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she'd
So
be
I'll
great
be
on your
doing
show.
that. I'm sure Max will go to the Skivots Carnival at some point. In a second there.
Oh, by the way, that reminds you, if anybody wants to make points with James, he loves the Zeppelis at this thing.
Bring them
Okay.
over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't
right.
have with a
Yep.
dark sweater. It gets spilled on you. I brought him my fake
Well,
cookies. I brought him the Gucci Dadas. I made the Italian cookies. I brought him for James.
Oh, did you? What did he say?
They were good.
Yeah.
I own Gardunas, but that's a seasonal thing. But anyway, I digress.
And then he.
Speaking another language.
No, certainly nothing comedy wise.
Well,
I know that. What?
Well, that's right. So Keegan has a show, but it's not a Hershey and the Keeg show.
No, Keegan might have something. We have our Hershey and the Keegs on Tuesday night, 9:00 here,
Right.
back at Governor's. We did not mention this on Tuesday night, but we have guests on Tuesday. We have we're doing like a little crossover thing. I decided to have a couple of other podcast guys come in, so we're having Dennis Rooney, Kanal Aurora from the show City of Rats, and they're two legit comics, and so we're going to give it a whirl to see how two podcasters merge with two podcasters.
When two podcasts
That's exactly
collide.
Here's Mrs.
It's Tuesday.
When
Hey,
Dennis
Mrs.
Rooney,
H,
when he
she's
does,
gorgeous.
when he does Almost Irish with Mick Thomas and Dan Barry, they do it in here. So
Yeah.
so it's okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. Other than that,
know if you could
I'm going to
smell
get Barbara a turkey sandwich, a Danish, and a corn muffin.
Nice.
And that's my day.
Very
She's
nice.
going to do the corn muffin and the Dane? That just seems like a lot of
let's
carbs.
Get it
to me.
all.
Yeah,
She
I
could
don't
toast
know.
it tomorrow.
She's
She's
allowed.
a marathon runner.
She could
Oh,
toast
there
it
you go.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, big race.
She's carving
She
up.
deserves it.
With her walker, yeah.
All right, what are your plans for the weekend, and what do you have coming up?
What do I got? So tonight I'm going to see Earthquake Condoleezza at the Barclays with my boy Mike Epps. It's straight chases, no jokes. Mike Epps, Cedric, Earthquake, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really
my
good show
favorite.
at Barclays. So I'm going to go with my son to that. Sunday I have, I don't want to get it wrong, Ellen Barton.
DeGeneres.
And no. Ellen Barton is
Ellen Barkin?
No. Barton.
Still hot.
At the brew.
So hot.
I had too much work, but anyway, she
her.
at the brew, that's funny, at South Shore Brewery Sunday, an afternoon show. I think it has to be a little PC and Rob Chiaffi and Donna
cool.
Morgan. I should know who's on it. My
Donna
apologies,
Moran.
Donna Moran. Yeah, did I say
Donna
Morgan?
Moran.
My apologies.
all right. That's why I'm here.
Thank you.
It's to make-
Just
And nobody
to
correct
correct
it.
you.
It doesn't matter.
And then I have a couple of things, and then I'm in the. I was selected for the Jersey City Comedy Fest.
Wow.
Wow.
Hello.
Nice.
Not for nose in Jersey. So that's June 9th. I'll be in Jersey.
Is Keegan doing that too?
No, he was the red. That was the Red Hook or Red Bang.
the Red-
Oh, I knew he was
Yeah.
doing some
No,
festival.
but Keegan
Yeah.
has a show in Staten Island tonight
like in a
because I
couple
was
of
trying to
All
get
right,
Carla.
Enough Keegan. Let's talk about me, okay?
I was trying to get Carla to come with me to Brooklyn, but they're in Staten Island
Okay.
for this show.
And
So maybe I'll have them scoop us
When's
on
the
the
New
way
Jersey
home.
Festival? When is that?
June 9th.
Nice.
June 9th, and then
Beautiful.
the Village Idiot, July. And then I'm trying to get back in here. I don't know
Yes,
if
we
I'm
need
in
you-
the,
we need you
I don't know
back
if
in
I'm in
your
the
whole
doghouse.
calendar,
I
right,
don't-
Andrew?
It's
What do you
not that
have?
much. And then I have lunch on Tuesday, and then my mother's 80th birthday
Oh,
party.
Mazel.
Oh, happy
I've got
birthday.
this
Happy-
rash.
Yeah. We see it. Don't worry. You don't get to tell
Yes,
us.
we see it.
Starting to get nervous
Yeah.
because it's spreading
Yeah.
fast.
Up your face.
Really, I got it yesterday. No, I'm just me and Billy are going to go to the open mic tonight. And,
Where?
The brokerage.
10
who's
PM.
hosting now? Because
Rocco.
it's Sean.
Perillo.
Oh,
okay.
beautiful.
So we're
I'm
going
glad
to
to see
Perillo.
that
Actually,
back in motion.
He asked Billy to do some time, and I'm going to go be his bring.
Speaking of Perillo, Courtney Otero, she goes to Five Towns College. You know Courtney?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did a show with her. What do you
She
do?
posted photos. They had their graduation the other day.
Okay.
And there's a picture of Perillo with her.
I
almost didn't
like to
recognize
go
him.
Where I like to go where I think I can pick up women.
But he was dressed normally. He didn't have the bandana. He was dressed in a
wasn't
suit.
creepy. We went to
I almost didn't
Applebee's.
recognize him.
Like,
He wasn't
2
dressed like a
months ago.
pirate?
No.
2 months ago, we went to Applebee's. Billy's like, "Hey, you want to meet Perillo up at Applebee's?" And I'm like, "All right." And we go there, and he didn't have the bandana on it, so it's like,
It's like when you see.
But it was
Steve
more than that.
Schneider.
But he didn't have the usual. He had like a
Yeah.
like a.
Well,
why was
like
he
a
at
normal
graduation?
suit. I don't know. That's
Business
why I'm bringing it
casual.
up.
Did he
Yeah.
graduate, or did he
No.
go to support Courtney?
Does he work there, or like
I-
Courtney didn't even graduate? so I don't even-
So why are they all there?
Tony Walker, I work for a photography studio, and sometimes I have to go do photography.
Oh, is that where he works now?
He does. He does. Well, he doesn't do
Is
the
that
school,
his voice? Because he's
the
very
school
quiet.
shootings anymore. He doesn't do school shootings anymore. He only does.
I know he does.
He's
Have
like in the back office.
he definitely has a trench coat mafia
No, it's-
feel.
it's-
He really
yeah.
does.
This is actually my normal Steve Rocco Perillo.
Yeah, that's
This
yeah,
is
that's
my
more.
normal impression of him. Because he has kind of the
I
jaw
love
forward
Andy.
thing.
Intentional.
How's my guyliner? Is it running?
All right, so and that's it for you
That's
this
it.
week.
Where's
I have
Tony?
a show coming up
What's
in a
that?
couple of weeks.
And
We have
where's
plenty of time.
Tony? He's getting his leg adjusted.
Yes.
Getting a tune-up.
Tomorrow night I'll be here. I'm going to come watch Joey Cola.
Beautiful.
You know where I will be?
We might end up coming there.
Sharon Pfeiffer, a wonderful woman I met from Florida, comedian. She's part of the Mike Marino Italian family.
Is he tonight, I think?
He's flip-flopping. So tonight he's here at Governor's. So I will miss it because I'll be in Barclays. But tomorrow night I will be at Governor's. I mean, I'll be at Brokerage as a fan, as I come as a paying customer sometimes too. Well, not with a coupon, but you know what I mean. I'm paying for my mozzarella sticks. But I'll be here
Italian
tomorrow night
comedy
to support.
27.
Yeah, Mike Marino and Sharon's coming up. She's a West Hempstead woman.
Oh, nice.
She lives in Boca. She's great. And Mike has, I think he found every Goomba.
Mike Marino.
Besides Goomba Johnny, who is here tonight.
Goomba Johnny is this weekend?
But Goomba
It's Italian weekend, not for nothing.
Well, not totally.
Yeah.
Not totally.
Why, there's
Mike
a Jew?
Marino, Terry McNeely, Courtney Otero, Pat Dunn, Dan LaRocco, Joey Cola, Goomba Johnny, Stephen Rocco, Prillo Open Mike, Mick Thomas, Ivory Fields, Tangy Fro Funny,
Oh, wow.
Kenny Williams, and Stella
wasn't
D
expecting
are just
that.
some of the names you'll see on the Governor's stage this weekend.
And is the porch open yet? The
patio? No.
Porch.
The porch.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
You were getting real close. You're like,
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
That's where the
it's like
riggers
gay. This is
sit.
the
That's
closest game of gay chicken I've
that's
ever
what the
played.
riggers-
Only with
We're about to go
racism.
off the air. All right.
Only with racism.
Thank you, Mark, for hanging out.
Thank you. Good luck for your mother's
Thanks for having me.
sandwich.
Thank you.
All right, nice meeting you again.
Laura Patton, Andy Plagainos. That's it. So, yeah, go to govs.com and go see one of these shows this weekend. I don't think there's Conversations with Don Sill tonight, and then no Green Room this weekend. And I think I'm going to take off Monday, I think.
Look at you.
Take off Monday.
Take off Monday.
I've decided not
I've decided.
to share.
All
That's right.
What will those 9 people do for an hour and a half?
It'll be rough for those 9 people.
9 people. What are you doubling
Sons
that
of
for?
bitches.
Hurtful.
It's like 4
All
and
right.
a half people.
Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and we're out of here. We'll see you guys
Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
End on a funny.
That was
And-
like
Will
that
you
was like a
experience at a Knock'em Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knock'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what?
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knock'em Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what? I had an awesome time. All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knock'em Dead Comedy for your event today.